Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of Venus. Transiting Venus is in opposition to natal Neptune. How transiting Venus will behave in opposition to natal Neptune depends on the position of natal Neptune. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect to your natal Neptune. But the basics are as follows. When transiting Venus is in opposition to natal Neptune, you will feel the cosmic revelation of these planets blurring the lines between illusion and reality, inviting both magic and, in most cases, disappointment. This gentle tension opens up a space between what the heart hopes for and what is actually present. Being drawn into a dream world of your ideals and the way you would like things to be in your relationships usually indicates that you are more likely to fall into delusions or be deceived during this period. This happens because you are enveloped in a dreamy haze, where love and romance seem to shimmer with an almost otherworldly glow. Therefore, we can say that with this transit, it is crucial to stay grounded. This transit calls for soft eyes and clear boundaries, so that compassion does not turn into confusion, so do not make big decisions about love or relationships, because things seem much more romantic or disappointing than they actually are. Although, feeling this kind of heart opening and wanting to be devoted to something or someone is not foreign to Venus and Neptune. These two planets can work together to make you yearn for the perfect note, for the right words, for the right look, for the feeling of being happy without effort. Neptune knows how to open the heart, and Venus wants to believe in the shine. However, the opposition on the other hand brings disappointment in your partner's life and reveals that your partner is not who he seems. Therefore, avoid starting new romantic relationships now, because you are very likely to see what you want to see, and not what is actually there. Do not ignore red flags or strange feelings towards people, because your intuition is clouded during this transit but still works. If you are hurt and do not know how to deal with feelings or confusion, avoid using alcohol or other escapist habits. Do not engage in secret or complicated affairs, because things will explode or get much messy than expected. Try to stay as realistic as possible, balancing your relational and emotional fantasies so that your perceptions don't become clouded by romantic fog. For too much idealization or gullibility leads to shame and disappointment in love that damage your self-esteem. As we've already mentioned about this transit, partnerships transform into dreamy fantasies, connections that once seemed grounded now soar to ethereal heights or spiral into confusion. Pain is human here, for it is the soul's way of remembering what love could be, while the world, with all its edges, stands close enough to touch, and as long as you maintain a certain degree of groundedness and sanity, this becomes a wonderful time to soften feelings and be more receptive to intimacy and closeness within your relationships. This phase encourages deep reflection on your core desires, which truly nurtures your spirit versus what simply blinds the eye. This is a perfect opportunity to distinguish true affection from mere infatuation as you navigate feelings of vulnerability and idealism. Embrace these deep waters with caution and curiosity, as they lead to personal discoveries that will enhance your understanding of the complexities of love in ways you never thought possible. So practice compassion and be especially gentle with yourself and others as the introspective energy of this position is dramatically heightened. Old loves, especially those that were hidden, unrequited, or never fully expressed, resurface in dreams, memories, or real-life encounters. Individuals will discover that what they believed to be spiritual love was actually an avoidance of true intimacy, or conversely, that the relationship they dismissed as impractical was actually the most authentic love they had ever experienced. Either way, the intensity of the transit depends on the position of Venus and Neptune, but if you find yourself crying over unexpected beauty, feeling deep compassion for strangers, or experiencing love as a force that transcends any single person or relationship, then you are under the influence of the transit. This sweet melancholy will allow you to recognize that the most beautiful things in life are also the most fleeting. Loneliness and solitude take on a different quality, instead of painful isolation, becoming sacred spaces where the deepest truths about love are felt without distraction. Dreams become vivid and emotionally charged, often carrying messages about your deepest romantic and creative longings. Be sure to volunteer or help others, because doing something selfless or giving back can feel especially fulfilling right now. Spend time near water, go to the beach, a lake, or even take a long, bubble bath. Water has a calming, dreamy quality that suits the transit. Ultimately, keep your tenderness, add a boundary, and the result is love that breathes.